don't think anybody's gonna I don't think anybody's gonna click on this. Let me go do my makeup and put on something that's not red. Hello, I'm Jenny Fern. Welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. So let's talk. Oh my god, you're falling on my head. Talk about books. It is a really freaking hot day today. I was just cleaning out my little free library. I steward a little free library, so I was evicting the spiders, cleaning the glass, reorganizing the books to get people interested. And I thought I did a video about half a year ago now that was going through books in my little free library, reading the synopses, and picking out a handful that I was interested in. So I don't have as many books today that I haven't covered previously, but I do have some. So let's go through them. So the first book that I have is The Glass Lake by Maeve Binchy, from the author of Circle of Friends. Remarkably moving. Maybe her most compelling novel to date. Night after night, the beautiful woman walked beside the serene waters of Loch Glass, until the day she disappeared, leaving only a boat drifting upside down on the unfathomable lake that gave the town its name. Ravishing Helen McMahon, the Dubliner, with the film star looks and unfulfilled dreams, never belonged in Loch Glass, not the way her genial pharmacist husband Martin belonged, or their spirited daughter Kit. Suddenly, she is gone, and Kit is haunted by the memory of her mother, seen through a window, alone, at a kitchen table, tears streaming down her face. Now, Kit too has secrets. Of the night she discovered a letter on Martin's pillow, and burned it unopened. The night her mother was lost. The night everything changed forever. I'm kind of intrigued. I could be convinced. The main problem for me is just how long it is. Like, I'm not a big long book person, especially if I'm just giving it a shot. If I don't know I'm gonna love it, I don't really want to commit to a big honking thing. But we'll keep it on like a maybe list. I feel like I've talked about this book on this channel before. I've had it in my house because my library's full, waiting for its turn to like cycle through again. So apologies if I've covered this one before, but this is A False Sense of Well-Being. I really, really like the cover on this one. I like the suburban, like, little scene. This is by Jean Bressleton. At 38, Jessie Maddox has a comfortable life in Glenville, Georgia, with the most responsible husband in the world. But after the storybook romance, happily ever after never came. Now Jessie is left to wonder, why can't she stop picturing herself as the perfect grieving widow? As Jessie dives headlong into her midlife crisis, she is joined by a colorful cast of eccentrics. There's her best friend Donna, who is having a wild, adulterous affair with a younger man. Wanda McNabb, the sweet-natured grandmother, who is charged with killing her husband. Jessie's younger sister Ellen, who is born to be a guest on Jerry Springer. Their mother, who persistently crosses the dirty words out of library books. And of course, the stuffed green headless duck. When a trip home to the small town of her childhood raises more questions than answers, Jessie is forced to face the startling truth head-on and confront the tragedy that has shadowed her heart and shaken her faith in love and the future. I don't know, all that drama, I don't know, it's not the kind of drama that I'm into. Although, I did really frickin' love Strange Interlude, so that has kind of similar drama, but I don't think it's the same. Then another cover that is intriguing me, The Winter Vault. Also, I feel like you can just barely see my dog, so I'm gonna try to get her in frame so that we can all dote on her. There, that's cute. Okay. The Winter Vault by Anne Michaels, best-selling author of Fugitive Pieces. In 1964, A newly married couple settles into a Nile River houseboat. Avery is one of the engineers responsible for moving the towering figures of Abu Simbel above the rapidly rising waters of the Aswan Dam. At the edge of a world about to be lost forever, Avery and his wife Jean begin to create their own world. But it will not be enough to bind them when tragedy strikes and they go back to separate lives in Toronto. I know I say it like a dirty American. There Jean meets Luke John, a Polish artist whose haunting stories of his shattered childhood in occupied Warsaw draw her further away from Avery. But in time, he will also show her the way back to consolation and forgiveness. I gotta say, they had me in the first half. I'm intrigued by this houseboat life. But how much of it do you think is that setting? Because Toronto, I'm not really excited about that, to be perfectly honest. This one I'm also going to put as like a maybe. Then we have Telex from Cuba by Rachel Kushner, author of The Flamethrowers and The Mars Room. Everly Lederer, the Rurger, Everly Lederer and Casey Stites come of age in 1950s Cuba, where the Americans oversee 300,000 acres of United Fruit Company sugarcane in Orient Province, a paradise for a time and for a few. When Fidel and Raul Castro lead their revolt from the mountains above the cane plantation, torching the sugar and kidnapping a boat full of Yankee revelers, Casey and Everly begin to discover the brutality that keeps the colony humming. In Havana, 1,000 kilometers and a world away from the American colony, a cabaret dancer meets a French agitator named Christian de la Mazarée, whose seductive demeanor cannot mask his shameful past. Together they become enmeshed in the brewing political underground. The first novel to tell the story of the Americans who were driven out of Cuba in 1958, Kushner's debut is a tour de force, haunting and compelling, with the urgency of a telex from a forgotten time and place. I'm a little bit intrigued. I don't know about this whole fucking French cabaret dancer, though. I don't know if I don't want like a... I don't know about that vibe. Then we have something that looks terrifying. The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy. They call themselves the May Mothers, a group of new moms whose babies were born in the same month. I wonder what month that was. Twice a week, they get together in Brooklyn's Prospect Park for some much-needed adult time. When the women go out for drinks at a hip neighborhood bar, they're looking for a fun break from their daily routine. But on this hot 4th of July night, something goes terrifyingly wrong. One of the babies is taken from his crib. Winnie, a single mom, was reluctant to leave 6-week-old Midas with a babysitter, but her fellow May mothers insisted everything would be fine. Now he is missing. What follows is a heart-pounding race to find Midas, during which secrets are exposed, marriages are tested, and friendships are destroyed. 13 days. An unexpected twist. The Perfect Mother is a true page-turner. Not my kind of thing. Not my kind of thing, I don't think. I don't want to read that. The reasons. Not really into thrillers, if that's what this is called. Not super interested in reading about new moms. Not super interested in a plot where a baby, literal baby, is stolen. Not into that. Then we have Crossing on the Paris by Dana Ginther. In 1921, the SS Paris leaves Le Havre. Sorry. The SS Paris leaves Le Havre on her maiden voyage. Aboard, passengers dine in glittering grandeur on French cuisine, served by hundreds of unnoticed servants and chefs. Below the waterline, the modern oil-fired engines throb day and night, and for 3 women, this voyage will profoundly change their lives. Traveling first class, elderly Vera Sinclair is reluctantly moving back to Manhattan after 30 wonderful years abroad. In Cozy Second Class, reveling in her brief freedom from family life, Constance Stone is returning after a failed mission to bring her errant sister home from France. And in the stifling servants' quarters, young Le Havre native Julie Vernet is testing her wings in her first job as she sets out to forge her own future. For all three, in different ways, this transatlantic voyage will be a life-changing journey of the heart. I'm kind of into that. I'm not a big fan of historical fiction, but this one doesn't seem like super salacious, doesn't seem very like tragedy. I could probably get down with this one, actually. And then we have something that I definitely have talked about before on this channel, because this was something that I picked out for it's like the TBR challenge that Books and Lala does, like one book per month based on a theme. And I was doing it at the beginning of the year for my TBR, and then I stopped. So I had this one for Senses, because the scent of jasmine. And I never read it. And I kind of tried to read it, and oh yeah, see, I should make sure that I don't put my bookmarks in there before I donate them, or redonate them. Charleston, 1799. A daughter of Southern gentility, Catherine Edillion Harcourt's adventurous spirit is piqued while visiting her bedridden godfather. He asks Kay to fill in for him on an urgent task on her way to a fancy dress ball. She must deliver a packed horse to an old friend's son, who also happens to be an escaped convict. Kay agrees to the plan, which doesn't go at all as planned. She finds herself riding blind into the night with Alexander McDowell, fleeing his captors. Kay finds herself overwhelmingly attracted to Alex as they seek refuge in the Florida Everglades. I don't know why I ever thought that I was going to read this, because this is so outside of my comfort zone. What's definitely going back into the Little Free Library are these three. And then I'm going to decide between these four what three I'll be reading for another reading vlog. So, Crossing on the Paris, I'm actually interested in. This one, I'm a little conflicted. I'm also conflicted about The Glass Lake, again, just because of its length. It's just very, very long. So, The Winter Vault. Oh yeah, this is the one where they go back to Toronto. So I think I'm just gonna do Telex from Cuba, and hopefully it's not really bad. Well, from the last time I did a reading vlog based on the books that I picked out from my Little Free Library, I read Gun Machine, which was on one side a whole experience and on the other side not good at all. So I think either way, we'll have a time, we'll have an experience, we'll be exposed to new things, and it'll be okay. I'll go put these out into the library, take a few of the ones that have been in there for a while out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider sharing it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing, and I will talk to you again soon. Ravishing Helen in 1964, a newly married couple. Then we have Telex. Sorry, there's cobwebs. When Fidel and Raul Castro leave reading, okay, whose seductive God damn it. Traveling first class. I feel like I put an extra S if that's possible,